Donnie, I know we have a lot of new viewers this like upcoming NFL season. We've done really good with some of our best ball portfolios and just growing the channel organically. So welcome if you're here. A like and subscribe goes a long way, but we're just going to lay out really quickly. For the first few weeks, I want to do this just because a lot of new people are coming in, like I said. So what we kind of do is we're not so much guaranteeing that you're going to win. What we are doing is giving you our player pools, our kind of collection throughout the week, our opinions on games, opinions on spreads. We kind of have fun with it. We have like an kind of insider tracking of our picks, a little spread competition. We'll give you some DFS, our favorite players, our favorite plays, our favorite players, our player pools, those kind of things. As kind of a process build, a practice build, if you will. So that's what we like to do. This is we always start with our spread picks, which we kind of give you a combined view of what we like. Unfortunately, Gov is not here. He's attending a personal celebration, so he's going to be out this week. It's just me and Donnie. How you doing, Donnie?
Not bad, not bad. Good night of football last night on the radio. So hopefully it just stays through and goes through the whole weekend. I'll probably watch some college today.
But that's what I love about what we do is like we're not trying to guarantee picks. We're not trying to say we're experts. We're just giving you like our opinion after the end of the week. And I think this is a good reset for everyone. Like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and they're like, hey, you can like this play, you can hate this play, but try to think outside of the easy narratives. Try to think outside of like, oh, why don't you like this player or why do you like this player? Like we were talking before this show and you seem very strongly for the Eagles, and I'm not so sure I want to just bet against Patrick Mahomes yet, even though it's not a for sure thing. Like if you had told me any other year that the Chiefs, for example, were going to be dogs at home, that's an easy smash Patrick Mahomes bet. But this year is different, and so you have to adjust the information. So hopefully that's kind of what this show does. But let's get into our spread picks for the show. The pick that we all agree on. It was a bit harder this week, and I thought maybe it'd be easier not having Gov, having two people. But we did settle on what? Broncos against the Colts?
Yep, -2.5. Broncos are favored. I think.
Oh, it's like we hit a weather delay or something, Donnie. You cut out on that.
Yep, Broncos over Colts.
Broncos over Colts, that's correct. I will update the people as well. We are alive in Survivor still. We did survive. I think we will go on till at least midway throughout the season, I think. We will play it safe again this week. We are taking the Ravens against the Browns in Survivor. You can call us chickens. You can call us conservative. But sometimes you got to take the obvious things there. We are burning a good team. I do think the Ravens will beat a lot of teams, so we do know we are taking a bit of a chance. I was actually glad, I don't know about you, Donnie, to get the Commanders out of the way. Not that I don't think the Commanders are a good team, but I think they will be in a lot of close games. And I don't know if I would favor them against a lot of championship level material. So a lot of people think that like Commanders was a bad burn. We shouldn't have burned through them. But I'm actually more positive that we burned through them, especially after seeing what they did what happened to them against the Packers rather. With that being said, though, are you ready to get on your spread picks?
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'm transferring over.
Oh, that's right. See, Donnie, he's been transferring to get better cell phone reception, so he should have it now. Let's bring him in. All right, Donnie, We're good.
All right. So I figure there's only two of us. Do we need the random number generator? You kind of gave me a pick I like, so I'll give you the first pick.
That makes sense.
Okay, so you'll be first. No random number generator this week with only two of us. Show pick Broncos -2.5. What do you got for me, Logan?
I'm going against Gov, and he sent in his picks like as last minute as possible to ensure. I should actually let him probably pick first because I do have his picks, and I'll do that now. But luckily, we didn't cross over here, so let me just make this pick, and then we'll get Gov's two picks out of the way. But I will take the Seahawks against the Steelers at +3. I think this is a fantastic bet. I think this is an overreaction to how bad Seattle looked, and they looked terrible. But I think it's an over exaggeration of how good Aaron Rodgers looked. I don't expect that old man to look that great. I have always thought the Mike Tomlin voodoo was a fun narrative. It's kind of a goofy little inside joke with NFL people. Like it's fun. I get it. He's a good coach. He's been consistent for a long time. I don't think the Steelers are very good. If I lose, if I have some blood on my hands after this pick, so be it. I just think laying +3 against a team that might be overvalued or ballooned up this year based on what we thought they would be. But I just think the Seattle defense could be one of the best in the league. And I just don't like Aaron Rodgers at that advanced age, especially as the year goes on. I just don't think it ages well.
It's the oldest team in the league, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. One of the oldest teams in the league, just in general. But let's not call it a fun narrative when it's been like 7 years straight of overachieving. Since Ben Roethlisberger's last year, it's been like they should suck, but they haven't sucked.
I'm glad you called me out because I want. It's a great stat. I'm saying a lot of people have fun with it, like it's this kind of mythological thing. He deserves all the credit for it. I think we've went a step too far trusting Aaron Rodgers at this advantage. I think he's closer to that Jets version. If I'm wrong, I will die on that hill. And I look like a Lions hater because of the bias with the Packers, but I promise you, I think it would be a cool story.
He's slow and old. He's a statue.
Yeah. But like if he had a Joe Flacco like Renaissance year and won comeback player of the year and like I would not mind it. Like I know I sound like a bitter like rivalry, carryover, but it's not what it is. I don't think he's good enough. But that's all I got on that game. I will say quickly actually. The game opened at +2.5, and it got moved up to 3. I bet it instantly personally when it moved up to 3. I think 3 is too much. Am I crazy, Donnie?
I actually like the Steelers side of it, but if it was 3.5, I would not be on it.
Okay.
Like 3 is my limit for the Steelers personally, but I wouldn't bet. I would bet it at 2.5. I can't bet it at 3 because it's probably going to be 27-24.
Mm-hmm. Now let me. I do have Go's picture somewhere. He actually gave us quite a bit of information. You can go ahead and make.
Well, you pull that up. I'll get my pick out of the way because I know you said we don't want to guarantee. I am guaranteeing this. I'm sorry. The Chiefs are 0-2. Eagles -1.5 is a crazy line. I don't care how bad the Eagles defense looked.
Yeah.
I don't trust Tyquan Thornton and whoever the hell his backup is going to be to make the Eagles defense look sorry. I mean, this might be the worst receiving core without Rice and Worthy in the league. That might be the Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, Patriots rejects, and who's the other one? That's how bad I'm blanking on who the other one is.
Thornton.
There's another guy though. It's Thornton, Thornton, Juju, would be wide receiver 2.
There's the rookie Royals that we drafted, but he got hurt. He's out. So that's right. That's another unfortunate part about this is like even the rookie reinforcements they brought in are out.
Hollywood Brown, that's the guy I'm forgetting.
He's going to be steamed up tremendously and all of DFS this week because he saw like 14 targets because everyone knows it's condensed. He's not a bad play. It's just I would rather play Ricky person. I always do that.
Even with Worthy, this was an uphill battle. We can agree on that, right? Like you're definitely punching up a weight class.
They deserve to be dogs. I'm not going to actively say that they're better than the Eagles. I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes, and I wasn't impressed.
And that's fair. Maybe that's the fun narrative you need to get out of the way.
Maybe. Like that's the thing is we all have our biases though. That's why it's beautiful that you come on the show and go because that's what I want my friends to do. I want them to challenge me when I'm being irrational. But I just believe that Patrick Mahomes is like that much better. And he will.
But him being 6,200 on DK is wild, by the way.
Yeah. I will play some of that game for sure. I just don't know if I trust the Eagles because they didn't look great against the Cowboys to me. And maybe that's the weather delay and that messed up the game, and it just made that game look worse for a lot of different reasons, even for the Cowboys' purposes. But I don't know what to do with that game, so I'm staying away. I'm not saying you should bet the Chiefs. I don't think they're an instant bet. That's a game I don't want to touch because I don't know.
That's fair.
That's what's interesting, though. You're passionate about it. Like, the bet I just made with the Seahawks, I don't think I've liked a bet more in the last, year. Like, truly, I think the Seahawks is, if you're not betting that game, I'm not a professional, but, I just don't understand how the Seahawks are getting +3. And that's how you sound with the Eagles. Like, you just sound like this is badly priced.
I'm surprised it's not at 4, honestly. Did we all watch the same Super Bowl last year? That offense did nothing. The offense is worse. I know the Eagles' defense is a little worse too, but you still got your core young guys, and Jalen Carter will come back. The defense for the Eagles is not significantly hindered. I was never high on the Eagles' defense last year as it was, though.
That's the thing.
So maybe I don't think it's as much of a drawback as everyone else does.
Yeah. And the Eagles keep getting better. They signed Zamarius Smith. So they are getting, better. So I get it. I get all the reasons. It's just Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes at home. I don't think.
I just think we have another Super Bowl, to be honest. I think it's just going to be just like the last Super Bowl.
It might. And Travis Kelce looked better to me. I know, statistically, he didn't look that much better, but I do think he's got some more juice left in him this season. So it's a stay away from me. I do have Ghost picks, though. He actually bet against me, so this will be fun. We don't necessarily always do this, but it does happen naturally sometimes. He wanted the Steelers minus 3. So we're going head-to-head against, again, a game I think passionately is very mispriced. So when we do get God back, I want his opinions of why he feels so strongly. I think I know he is more of a traditionalist where it's like he's going to believe something until it doesn't work anymore. And I think he's buying into Mike Tomlin just out coaching the Seattle team that didn't look like they could that didn't look like they could compete. Shall I give him his other one just in case we take it? I don't think we would, but he wanted his homer pick, which I do think is a tick too high because I do think people are overreacting to how bad they looked. He wants the Panthers at +6.5.
That's not even the highest line this week, right? Have you seen the highest line this week?
It was 6.5 last I looked. Did it move?
It's 11.5 is the highest line so far. Ravens favored over the Browns, which is a big number. Probably the biggest number I've seen on week 2.
I'm sorry. I thought you said that the Panthers game was +11. I was going to say, what?
No.
Okay.
No, that line is insane to me. Not something I'm betting because I think it could happen, but week 2, 11 points?
No, and that's why we took the Ravens in the survivor pick. We expect them to win, but Jim Schwartz has actually played very well against them. He does do well against quarterbacks. He is a creative defensive coordinator. To me, 11 is too much. Did you want the next pick, Danny?
Yeah, I'll take the next one.
And while you do so, give people your thoughts on the Panthers Cardinals since we don't have Gus here. Just quickly.
I don't think the Cardinals are good enough to win by that much, to be honest.
So that's what
the Panthers, to me, even if they do suck and they are what they showed, I don't think the Cardinals can do much more in that situation.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just it's the second primetime game of the year, a long week. It's been a couple extra days now because they played Friday, and now they're playing on a Monday. So a couple extra days of rest. Just give me the Chargers at 3.5.
Damn,
I like that line a lot.
That game. That was my game too.
I think that the 2 extra days of rest is huge to me.
It is
3, I think.
Essentially, because it depends on what you think of the travel day, how hard the travel was. But
right.
With the airplanes and the amenities and they weren't flying commercial. I mean, come on. So I discount that a bit too. I think we'll see a very good version of the Chargers. And let's be honest, they didn't even use all their weapons. Glad didn't even have that great of a day. QJ actually looked very good, and I know you've been a detractor.
Keenan looked really good.
Yeah, which I was just going to mention. You've been a detractor of Johnson, so it's not even like we could dog you too much because you've been a lover of Keenan Allen. So it was like my favorite like dogs and your favorite dogs kind of married together, Donnie, and just had the best performance ever. Because I've been a QJ stan forever, and as I'm watching that performance, your guy Allen, who you wanted to believe in, just not being done yet, puts on a great performance. And then Ladd just sits back and enjoys himself because he doesn't have to do much. That offense looks very good.
Right.
What do you think of Bowers? Because I like that game too. So I was going to spend some time talking about it. My problem is Bowers. I think he really is that important to that offense.
I see. He had a good game overall last week, but it wasn't what I expected of Brock Bowers. Last week he had a couple drops. Like I was a little disappointed in him. I think he was gonna play better because of that.
Well, I think he misses this week. I really do. I think.
Oh, you don't think he's gonna play?
I
didn't know he was questionable.
He is with that knee injury.
If he's out, then I mean that's gonna probably move up to 4.
They're saying he could be out for like, and we were almost over spread picks anyway, so I think we'll be good here. I'll make my pick.
Your last pick is
I'll be logged out anyway. So let me go full screen on myself for just a second while I log in. But you did take my pick. That was going to be my pick with the Raiders and Chargers.
I can't believe how big that line was, to be honest.
I really didn't think you were going to take that one, so I didn't have a second one. I'll have to look when I get logged back in here because I want to make sure I don't speak. Because I do think the Ravens could cover that 11.5. Like I almost want to take that one, but it's not like if they had won the game, Donnie, I would have taken that. But I feel like they're out for blood, and they could get violent in that game, and they have the talent to like cover 20 points.
Yeah, I just made my personal dummy lineup. And I saw something that I didn't know about till now that shocked me. I don't know how to say it. I am shocked by seeing that stat line for a game that we will be playing.
Yeah.
Do you have your last pick yet?
I found my game. I want to make sure because I think if
you could always just pick Chiefs.
No, I thought about that too, but I want to make sure it wasn't 5.5. But I do like the Cowboys to beat the Giants. I think the Giants are a mess.
What's the line exactly?
It's 4.5. Cowboys 4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Yeah, that's pretty good. I almost took that one as well.
I thought it was 5.5, but it's 4.5. So
yeah, that's pretty solid.
See, I thought the Cowboys played very well, and that rain delay really messed them up. Actually, I closed DK. That's why I did it. For some reason, let me open that back up. But I thought the Cowboys played very well, and that rain delay just messed them up. And let's face it, the Eagles are a championship team, so they didn't win. But, sure, they have to clean up that defense, but I was really impressed with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. I really was.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it's week 1, and it's a divisional game. They could definitely have just been having a good game, and the Eagles lost their best pass rusher, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter is a game breaker.
Especially in that game.
We'll see what the Eagles actually look like this week, and I think we'll get a real message on where the Cowboys stand. Yeah,
that Chicago Lions game kind of has that same vibe too. Just to speak about another game quickly, we have to find out what the Lions are, because I don't think they're as bad as they showed in week 1, but they could be because they didn't play well.
I don't think they'll fall to 0-2. If they do, they'll look a lot better. The Bears had a really good first half. That second half was putrid. Play calling wasn't great in the second half, but
yeah, it was like that first half was really scripted well. Ben Johnson had really worked it through, and then it was like, oh well, we're out of those 20 plays. Now we're in trouble.
Well, Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, he made Caleb Williams look like a rookie still.
It's almost like we love football or something, Donnie. I was just going to mention that. I swear that was just what I was going to mention.
Brian Flores, he was a solid head coach. He got fired because of, extra stuff that was going on. And I don't think the NFL wants him to be a head coach again, honestly.
Could be.
But He's a solid coach. He knows what he's doing.
And even if you didn't want to believe in his leadership skills and you wanted to give him that McDaniels treatment, it's he's a good he's a terrific coordinator. If you want to give him that Robert Saleh thing where it's
if he's a Spags, he could be a Spags.
Yeah, I would hire him as a head coach personally.
I think he deserves a chance. His defenses are too good to not give him another chance.
I mean, no one will hire me as a hiring firm or even an owner ever. I would if I had that chance. Speaking of choices that we can make now, let's go over to this lineup. Before we do this, though, I kind of wanted to go. Is there any players that were talked about this week? Because you're outside the bubble, so I really do value your opinion. Is there anyone that you feel might get over stimulated this week based on their performance in week 1, or it's just getting too much hype, or people are going to buy into the narrative? I have a couple if you don't.
I don't really have anyone off the top of my head. I have to look at the pricing of stuff.
So, one of mine is everyone wants to be well, Breece Hall looked good, but they're the Jets, or Breece Hall looked good. But
I think at ETN, he had one big run that really changed the stat line, is what I'd say.
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's he looked good. I think he's the real deal. You think it's more of he had one good play, and you're not taking it away. You're just saying
No. I think he's a solid back, but I don't think he's that stat line is definitely inflated.
Yeah.
The fantasy points itself are inflated. I think he's a talented player and can hit a home run every week.
Yeah. So essentially what I'm basically asking you is if you think we have to play a certain guy because he'll never be priced this way again. For me, that Ted McMillan stands out. He's 5,400. He didn't really move. I think if we don't play him soon, he's going to be 6. By the time Gov gets back to play some of his Panthers, he could be 6,500.
Well, there's just one guy that I feel is a must play because of the targets he got last week. We talked about on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Playing a much worse team this week defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Gibbs had 10 targets, 10 catches, and 10 rushes. Mm-hmm. I know it's only 20 touches, but in a PPR to get 10 targets, if he gets 7 targets next week, which is a 30% decrease, that's still 7 targets.
You know why I love Gibbs, and we could even get into the lineup because I think we'll probably put him in. And this is why I didn't think we would get there, Donnie, is because he is very close to Christian McCaffrey in price. And so they're projecting his ownership to be severely low, under 10%. And anytime you can get 10% for that bad of a game to still get 10 points, that was an Alvin
Kamara. He got 15.
Yeah. But I'm saying even to get to 10 was impressive, and he got to 15. That's exactly what I was going to say. It was kind of trash how he got there with 10 points, and I think he's a lot better than that talent. And if he has a good game, and I say, people want to play Christian McCaffrey, so I don't think a lot of people are going to jam in both guys. We do have Gov's picks. Do we want to put in Gov's picks just because he won't be here?
Let's do a lineup and make sure we get at least one of his picks in.
Okay. Because he actually had some theory questions for us. He didn't just give us his picks right off of it. He wanted to kind of give us some decisions. So he wants us either to play Justin Fields or Breece Hall. And then he wanted I
was really high on Fields this week.
Were you?
I have Fields in 2 lineups already.
I'm very high on Breece Hall, but I wouldn't mind if you outruled me and went Fields. I
would rather go Fields.
Would you? Okay. I just think there's so many more interesting discussion points around quarterback.
That Bills, I can say why.
Yeah.
If you want to get into that real quick.
Yeah,
just that Bills defense did not look great against a rushing quarterback in Lamar. I know Fields is not Lamar, but there's a lot of stack partners you can have. I'm sure you know who we're talking about when we say stack partner with Justin Fields. But if you're going to play that game to be high scoring, which I think you should, I think that game will be a high scoring game. I expect a 35-31 kind of deal. Then I want a piece of it, and especially the quarterback. Justin Fields is always a fantasy monster, and he's so cheap.
Hey, we do a good job of giving out our victory laps and taking our receipts when we're wrong. We're very transparent. I got to be honest, many people don't watch our our review shows, Donnie. It's unfortunate because they're my favorite content of the week. Actually, in terms of viewership, I probably should get rid of the review show that we do on Tuesday. It gets terrible reviews, to be honest with you. And if you'd like to help that, like and subscribe it, and maybe watch it. It's actually a good show. I'll never get rid of it because I like doing it. But I told you I was going to play Justin Fields. I did play him. I showed that lineup. My problem is,
do you see who he's priced next to, Logan? Can you just show the price point? He's at 5,700. Look at the guys. Look at the fantasy. I know it's just one game, but look at the difference in fantasy scores.
Oh, you want?
He's priced around Tua. He's priced next to Trevor Lawrence, who had a bad fantasy day. Yeah. Priced next to Stafford, who has a back injury and a bad fantasy. He's priced under Stafford, who has a back injury and was not good. He's priced under Dak.
We took the long way around, but we got there because that's kind of what my first question was, kind of leading the witness towards. It's some of the pricing is very fair. Some of it makes sense, and then some of it makes no sense to me at all. I'll be honest. I love Fields. I want a piece of the Jets game. You can say it's biased, but I told you Aaron Glenn was irrationally high on Justin Fields. He'd always destroyed Aaron Glenn's defenses. And you can laugh at him if you want, but
he just had the 2 rush touchdowns that propped up his points, and maybe that's why. But 12 rush attempts for my quarterback, and if he's going to get 20 pass attempts as well, if I can get somewhere near that balance where I'm guaranteeing my quarterback, as long as Fields throws 65%, he'll have a good fantasy day.
Again, this is where this homerism effect actually helps me. Aaron Glenn would always get torched by Justin Fields. I know this. I'm not saying you have to believe it. I'm not saying it's true, but in fantasy, at this price point, he is a cheap Lamar Jackson, type clone, and we're getting him at the 5,400. He's going to do some of the same, rookie class kind of Lamar Jackson things. And Aaron Glenn believes him as strong as a Harbaugh believes in Lamar Jackson. That's just truth. I'm not saying he has that upside, but Aaron Glenn thinks he has that upside. And when you have a coach that believes in that much of your potential, it does make a difference. It's a perfect marriage. It really is. The way they're using him.
It's not just the way they're using him, it's also the game environment they're in. They need to score points against the Bills, and I don't think that Bills defense is very good at all.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa looks slow. He could not contain Lamar Jackson. If Joey Bosa can't contain Lamar, I'm sorry. Fields is about the same level of athlete with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not happening.
Okay, so you can have the next pick. You were gracious enough to give me the spread pick first. I'll cede you the first pick here in this line.
All right. Jahmyr Gibbs. Simple, easy. I don't need to really explain that, I don't think.
Well, explain this to me, because I mentioned off the top, but we didn't really get into it. Why do you like Gibbs over CMC? Or maybe you play both. I really want you to tell me, because
I think there's a world you could play both. But specifically, because I could actually have a lineup that I've built where I have 7,500 left, and I pick Gibbs over CMC. The answer 100% is just game environment. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be the Niners are in a game where they're going to need to run the ball, and CMC had that calf early on. I think he looked really good. I'm not going to lie. But if they get ahead, they're not going to run this guy into the ground anymore. If they get ahead, which I think they will, it's just going to be Brian Robinson. It's going to be Garendo if he's healthy yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they have enough backs where they can substitute, whereas I think the Lions let's figure this out. We need to, even if we're winning the game by 25, we got to get this going.
I'm telling you, both coaches, Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson, are guys that get in their feelings. They are emotional creatures. This defensive coordinator was promoted. He worked under Aaron Glenn. He was very much a part of the culture. This was very much a family environment. So when Ben Johnson and Glenn left, it was sad, right? But Glenn went to the Jets. He went away. He went to college, basically. The Lions fan base, and I don't agree with this. I love Ben Johnson, but the Lions fan base basically said, you didn't just move out of mom and dad's house. You burnt the house down, and then you moved to the neighbors, and you stayed in our division. And a lot of people are harboring a lot of emotions towards it. So I will tell you, just our defensive coordinator didn't change much. He still believes in the Aaron Glenn system. So Ben Johnson knows that system very well. and they know Ben Johnson, so they feel like they're in a good position, and the Bears feel like they're in a good position. So this is going to be a war, Donnie. I feel like that.
Yeah, no, I really like the game. And I think the Lions do want to prove a point. Like they had a lot of bickering of, oh, maybe it was just Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
How good would it feel to go in the next week and beat up on Ben Johnson and say, no, it wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
We're that good. And I think that there is a narrative to that. And I think Dan Campbell buys into that.
He does. And that's important. When your coach buys into you, like we talked about with Fields, who cares if you guys think he can be Lamar Jackson? At that price, he's worth it to find out because Aaron Glenn believes it. And like Dan Campbell believes in Jared Goff. So yes, he had a bad game, and you can make all the McVay jokes and how bad he is without a good, it doesn't matter because Campbell believes in him. I don't even like Jared Goff that much, but I got to give him his props when it's there. One storyline about Gibbs that I found interesting, people like to say, if you're going to choose between CMC or Gibbs, people are just going to hit that legacy click on CMC. Another thing is, it's interesting, Donnie, and I want to get your unbiased opinion because I try to, Gov talked about it week one, like what we are doing to improve our process. And so I'm trying to defeat my biases a lot during the week. And so I'm like, how do I play this Lions game in a smart way that just doesn't like bleed into my fandom? So someone was talking there like, everyone's talking about Jared Goff getting back on timing and like the Lions offense looking better. But he's like, so everyone's talking like, do I play, St. Brown or do I play Williams? He's like, why not just play Gibbs? We saw the workload. He's like, they weren't efficient, but we saw the workload. If they are efficient with that workload, he's amazing.
Even if he's not efficient, if he just has one catch that goes for 60 yards this time instead, he's a 20-point guy.
Exactly. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if you're between CMC and Gibbs, at least consider it. I'm not saying you have to click it. Just consider it. Because
I don't think either's the wrong choice. CMC's 7,500. That's a really good price for a guy who looked very good last week.
And you could
he
play
looked
both
like CMC.
Yeah, you could play both of them for sure.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm not against playing both. I just have other receivers I want to pay up for.
Do you want Gov's next pick and then I'll pick?
Yeah.
He picked a running back.
It would be your turn, technically, if you want to throw yours in.
Okay. My pick and his pick actually kind of marry, I think, very well, so I'll just make his pick first. He picked a running back. I like this running back, Donnie, but it's just in a range that I wasn't considering. So I want to get your live reaction. You don't know who it is? It's Chuba Hubbard. I've loved Chuba since he was in college with Oklahoma. I've loved him. I just think he's at a price point that's very strange. But I will say
it's a bad price. But I think if he's one of those guys where I expect him to score a touchdown most weeks. If the Panthers offense is better than what we saw, even he scored 18 points last week. But if the Panthers offense is just viable in any way, which they didn't look like they were last week, then it's a good play.
Everyone is playing this guy, so it's very similar to your selection with Gibbs. It's you pick the same running back in McCaffrey and Gibbs, same talent kind of, ratio, but you went Gibbs there. Gov basically did the same thing with James Conner. I've been hearing a lot about James Conner. I've been hearing how he's in a great game, script, game environment. And so I know Chuba's going to be a low owned because if you're in that range, people are clicking on James Conner. I would almost project that as a thing. So
I almost clicked on James Conner, but there was something about last week. I just didn't like how he looked last week.
So we made this lineup so unique already, Donnie. I feel like we could fill it with chalk, and this lineup would still be very good. And there's no reason the three picks that we've made so far wouldn't hit. Like they're all in good spots. They're not going to be popular picks. I got a play though that pairs very nicely with this. I want to play Marvin Harrison. I think he's actually. I think he's always been good. I think it's the Kyler Murray kind of inconsistency, but this is a player that I just feel like should be like 6,500, and I'm getting him at 58. I was debating playing him or not, but with the pairing of Chuba Hubbard, who I'd never click on, by the way, this just makes sense. And this is the whole point of this exercise, is to get you on players that you would never consider. I was looking for an excuse to play Harrison because I loved him, and Gov gave me that excuse. So This is a play that I don't think either one of us are going to make. Like if Gov made this lineup, he probably pairs it different. And then if I made this lineup, I don't choose the running back. I play it with Ted McMillan. So this is a perfect example of why we do this lineup.
Right.
Donnie, where would you go after this? And what do you like? Do you like this at all? You can hate it.
I don't mind it. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like Harrison looked a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
My next pick, it just makes too much sense. 15 targets last week. I didn't even realize 15 targets, and I don't. That has to be a career high, I'd imagine. But just give me Hollywood Brown. He's a big play guy. He is the only consistent receiver on that team right now.
I'm giving you.
I cannot believe that I am saying that. But no, there should be no world where Hollywood Brown gets 15 targets. I want to make that very clear.
The world is, you already mentioned it off the top of the show. They don't have anyone else. Their only concern was if Worthy plays, and if Worthy played, people, you might not believe this, but people were actually considering playing Worthy at 5,700 if he played because they are so depleted at wide receiver. They have the rookie that I picked in best ball, Royals, who I was excited to play. He's like 3K. I'm like, this will be the week. He's still out, Donnie. So there's no reason to believe that Hollywood wouldn't at least get peppered with targets.
Yeah, I don't want to big brain it and go Juju. Juju doesn't have the big play up or chance.
If I was going to big brain it, I would go with Thornton because he has that big play up.
Right. And if I'm going to big brain, you go Thornton.
And if anything, Patrick Mahomes did miss him on some big throws. I'm actually considering it in a Patrick Mahomes build, but that is a Patrick Mahomes build. So that's an add-on to Patrick Mahomes. That's the only way I'd play Thornton. I think this makes perfect sense.
Right.
I don't even want to click on it because I don't think Hollywood deserved that 5,200 in a normal week, but this is not a normal week. He's the only guy.
Yeah, he is the only guy. I mean, unless you say Kelsey, but I'm just, I don't know.
And you have to.
I'm not out on Kelsey, but there's so many cheap tight ends I'd rather play. One in that same game.
And again, people don't watch our review show. This will be a challenge for you to watch it and call me out if it's wrong. I do not care if he gets 0 points, Sonny. It just makes too much sense.
Yep.
It just lines up to make too much. If it's wrong, prove me wrong. DFS gods, come down and strike this lineup with a 0. I'll talk.
If he gets 7 targets, I'm happy at 5,200.
Yeah, like
if his target's literally cut in half, I'm still happy.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I won't want to do this. I think it's the best stacking partner for our quarterback. But I don't know what to do here. So, but I want to.
We have money. I have money savers, so you can go up wherever you want.
Yeah, but I want to get this guy in because I want to talk about him. I don't know if it's perfect for this lineup, but I do want him in anyways. Donnie, I'm going to tell you who this is. I'm going to tell you basically his stats. You're not going to believe it. He got 7 targets, and he's under 4K. I think that's too cheap. I want him against a game where I feel like Cam Ward is going to look better. He's going to look more comfortable. They're actually going to trust him to throw more. They already talked about that, how they need to, open it up a bit. Give me a Luminor. I don't understand that price. 3,200 and saw 7 targets.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Caught 2 of them. It allows us to do anything. And by the way, we can adjust this lineup at the end as well if we want to move up, move down. Obviously, we will try not to move down off of Gov selections, but we can adjust. We're not locking in these picks as we draft them. Where do you want to go from here, Donnie?
I feel like we're making a big mistake by playing him naked, but I'm gonna let it happen and just hope
we can change it. I wanted to talk about him. I want to make sure I had it on the record.
He's one of the few quarterbacks I'm willing to play naked, and if we go out without a stack partner, I can stomach it because I need some level of bills in there.
We could go usually. Mason was his tight end, is a rookie. I think he's still underpriced, so we could burn the tight end.
Hold on. I want to get Garrett Wilson, but I don't see how we can realistically afford it. I'm trying to check out other prices
I
before
don't know
I
Garrett
make
Wilson's
my.
price. Let me check. I actually don't
It's
know.
65. 65. I already know that because I have it.
They
Taylor is
told me-
questionable, by the way.
Is he? Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's questionable this game.
I gotta find that out. I gotta find out why. He logged a full practice on Friday, but his list is questionable. So it looks like he'll play.
How many targets did he get? Only one. Again, there's a world where you can just play the man naked. And
1
that's
for
fine.
120. But I mean, he's under 3K. So I'm just saying you could do it.
I'm gonna go with the cheap option, and if we can move up later, we will. Just give me a guy who went off last week. Give me Keon Coleman. I think he's going to be just as involved in the offense. They want to get they drafted him in the first round about a year ago now. They need him to make a step. If they want to win a Super Bowl, Coleman is a key piece. Almost 30 points last week.
Yeah. This player is like a Jamison Williams like guy. You could see that big breakout year for him. He gets in his own way a lot with even like not even immaturity like antics, just like his personality is big and it's loud and it's like fun, but some people don't get that. So I'm hoping that like maybe Buffalo has embraced his wild style and his like uniqueness because he doesn't run the most crisp routes. Like I've seen that guy play at Michigan State even dating back. But he's super athletic. I don't think I've seen a NFL player box out a defensive back as well as Coleman. Like 50-50 balls, jump balls, Donnie. The more chaotic the play looks, the better for Coleman. But every time there's structure around him, he just doesn't look like he's comfortable. It's a very weird player, but I love his upside.
Do you want to take the tight end? We've got room for stack partners. We got room for the best tight end in the league. You got money.
Okay, I'm going to do it because I told you I think Jim Schwartz is actually going to play good against Lamar Jackson. I'm going to give you as much money as possible. I think the Browns are a slept-on defense here. Maybe they don't look great, but I like them.
Ew! Just play a. I'm giving you so much more money to move up. This is disgusting. No, that's disgusting. You're disgusting.
I just want to say we could play them. I want to mention, but you don't want to play them, right? Okay.
No, that's play a real defense. It's your pick. I don't know why you're plugged in the.
I told you I was only playing two defenses, so I had to shout out the two defenses I was playing. The other defense I like is your homer team, Donnie. I want to. Anytime I can bet against the Miami Dolphins, I will.
I think that's a bad pick too. They gave up the most big plays in the league last year. 9 plays over 20 yards last week.
Okay, the only other defense I'm considering, maybe you'll have to make this pick and make both picks for the only other defense I'm playing is Seattle.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm picking
Okay, what defense?
I'm picking a cheaper tight end because this is not happening. We're not playing trash. We're not playing trash.
We're obviously going to switch this lineup up, but seriously, those are my three defenses. The Browns.
I'm playing the Rams defense because I think it's going to be low scoring no matter what. Even if Cam Ward looks good, I think it's a low scoring game. It's one of the best defenses in the league. Cam Ward really got thrown into the fire week 1 and 2. That was bad scheduling by the NFL.
Let's do this then. If you want to play the Rams defense, fine. I'll take Illumino out. Just know that I am going to play Illumino in my player pool. That's what we do. We give you our player pools. I gave you a guy that I'm literally playing. It doesn't make sense in this lineup. I kind of knew that already. I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. So what I want you to do is leave it in the comments. If Illumino wins you some money, I want to know what contest it is in. If it's a stupid pick, I want you to tell me how stupid I am. I want some engagement with this pick. I want to know what Illumino does to you. You can clown me. I don't think it's bad though, Daddy. I took him out of the lineup, but give me some credit. He got 7 targets. He looked like Cam's number 1. Rookie quarterbacks usually like a rookie option. Like they grew up in the same culture. Like I do think Illumino is a good player. Okay, now we can do whatever.
Yeah, pick somebody, whoever you feel comfortable with.
Okay. Well, you did talk about just punting at tight end with Calcaterra on the Eagles. If we did that, what would we have? Could we play like
Also, Calvin Ridley had 8 targets last week. Is 4,900. I think that's a much better play. But
it is a better play, maybe. But I like Illuminor. Like I like that Tennessee.
That's fair.
team.
No, he was the number 1 target was definitely Ridley.
Yeah. I was, I think, higher on Cam more than I really do think that Tennessee team.
I had the Titans being a good team this year.
Yeah.
So okay.
Why do you want to play Calcaterra? Because I want to put him in there just to see what we have.
I don't necessarily want to play him, but he's the cheapest viable option at tight end with Goddard out. Like, I know he had 0 targets last week, but it's a decent bring back in a game that is, I'm playing a piece of it. So it's just a good skinny stack, I think, if you're playing a Hollywood Brown. And, that's all it is to me.
Yeah, I get it.
We don't need the money, though. We really, really don't need the money.
We don't. We have the.
I think you're much better playing that Browns rookie tight end if you're going to go there. I would go somewhere at tight end.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the selection, Donnie, because I don't care which one, but I think they're both really good plays. Would you rather play Smith or Saquon Barkley?
100% Saquon.
Or AJ Brown. I guess we have the money for that too.
I would 100% Saquon.
Okay, so you're Barkley. I have a lot of Barkley as well. I have both players in my player pool, so it did not matter to me. I'm playing both of them.
Obviously, Barkley's the engine on that offense.
Not in the same lineup, by the way.
Barkley's not only he's the engine, he's the whole damn train. And I'll give Jalen Hurts the conductor job, but Barkley makes it move.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't know this, but Brendan Strange got 4 targets at 3,600. I didn't know he was priced that low. He would make some sense based on his workload. We could pay down and get that.
Well, I was going to say, is there anybody else that you'd rather than Coleman? Because I could definitely go Kincaid at that 5,100 range. Kincaid's 3,700. He had a good week last week.
Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely go Kincaid.
So if you get off Coleman and go somewhere with Kincaid.
And I do think people will chase that price of Coleman. And then, we're obviously betting on that game scoring some points. So it's not even like Coleman would necessarily hurt us. I actually like that. Dalton Kincaid, very involved.
We could get a jet receiver. I don't know if there's how the Jets receiving core looks price wise. I have only looked at Garrett Wilson.
I know Reynolds is out, and I know they have Alan Lazard. The only other receiver I would look at is Mason Taylor. Right now.
See, no, I don't want to play a questionable guy. So I guess we go. Right. We could go and keep it at Kincaid.
When they game scripted, I know Kincaid was involved. I want to say his first 3 targets, and he only got 4. I think the first 3 were all in the first half. They were the scripted plays in that game. I like this.
That makes me less likely to.
Do you see that's funny? That's why we do this. We got there, Donnie. But
you're telling me the second half adjustment was getting Kincaid out of the offense once again? Kincaid was a failure in fantasy last year.
No,
let's not forget that.
Maybe that's the negative way to look at what I said, but I think it's a positive that
there's Michael Pittman though. If you like that game, just go wide receiver. We can only put a wide receiver in.
Yeah, it has to be a wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could pay for AJ Brown or Smith if you like someone else and play them in flex and not Barkley. But I don't mind Barkley.
You could. I know you like the game environment a little bit. We could go Booty. He's 47. We could go Diggs. He had a lot of scripted plays.
I know you'll hate this, but I gotta mention it, Donnie. Olave got a ton of targets, a ton. He got
he also got a hospital pass and got put in the blue 10 again.
Yeah.
He actually has a key card, a hotel key card, into the blue 10 at this point.
He even mentioned it in a press conference. He said he thinks that they're targeting him. I'm like, brother, they're just trying to keep you safe. I like him, and I'm like, brother.
I don't think I've ever seen any player in NFL history in the blue tent as much as I've seen Chris Olave in there.
Okay, so I have to do this just as a thought experiment, Donnie. If you had to choose Smith or AJ Brown, who would it be?
I would choose Smith.
Okay. So let me just see what this looks like if we went Smith. Just to show the people, because to me, it doesn't matter. You seem like you were far and away.
I just don't think they'll need to pass the ball.
Why can't I find him? I know he's here somewhere.
There he is. He's 56.
There he is. That would afford. That's why I like. It would afford us CMC or Brees Hall. That was my thought process. That's the only reason I show it.
No, that's interesting, actually.
See, that's
You
what.
can get up to
And again,
CMC. That's pretty interesting.
It's not to change your mind, Donnie. It's just to show you what could happen, and that's why we work through this. I think Gov, if Gov's watching this back, he is screaming at his computer for you to play CMC right now, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe he's screaming at me for talking.
See, I would almost go CMC and then.
See, this is what I love. We start with a draft, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're just drafting. They're gonna probably."
No, you know what it is. I want to get off Kincaid for Coleman again, but then we'd have to take Smith out, and I don't know what we would do there. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
The problem is I have to play a tight end, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to play Coleman, or I could go. Hold on, James Cook. Could I convince you to James Cook, and we get off Kincaid for a better tight end?
What would that leave us at tight end? Like, let's see.
It would be like the 4,500 range about.
Cook is one of those weird guys where it's like, I like him, but I never like his price. So
his volume's awesome. He's 6,400 this week.
That's what I love about him, but then I hate his price, and it looks like I hate him all the time. I don't want to play. I love Warren this week, man. I love Warren this week.
Hold on. Listen, you make the call, but I'm happy with this. I'm happy with whatever. As long as it's not Mark Andrews.
I love Warren this week because the matchup just makes sense, Donnie. They're playing the Broncos. What do the Broncos do? They take away the outside receiver, right? Well, Warren got 9 targets as a rookie. I think we got to play Warren. I'm going to make this declaration. He goes up by more than 1,000 next week. So he will be like 5,800.
Tight ends usually aren't up at that 5,800 price, Logan. That's why I think they're crazy for that. It's a tight end. He might go at 500.
We lost Kittle. I'm telling you, he's in that Kelsey, that Laporta range this next week. If
he's up there, Laporta and Kelsey, I understand, but I don't think he's with McBride and Bowers.
I think so, man. I think he's that level of talent.
Well, I think he might be, but I don't think DraftKings will put him up that high that quick.
Okay, so you like this better? Because I actually like the Kincaid option.
I like this better.
Okay, because I like that Kincaid
I like Cook better.
You see, but I'm okay with this. I'll actually let me do it now in real time so I don't forget.
With 300 left, is there anything you want to change? I think we have to do our due diligence and look at defense.
Yeah, do you know the defenses offhand? Probably not.
Why'd you take out 2 things and no defenses? Oh, the
PMR. Yeah, exactly. And if you guys don't know, you should always put your latest guy in the flex. I've made that mistake, and trust me, once you made it a few times, it does cost you in terms of.
Yeah, I don't know defensive pricing, so what's the 3,400 range?
People do love the Cardinals this week because they're not betting that Gov Panthers are going to bounce back, but we are playing Chuba, so it wouldn't make sense. I don't think the Cardinals
can't play the Bills. I like the Rams a lot. The Rams are a top 5 defense in the NFL. And they're playing a rookie quarterback. Like, that's just where I'm at.
Funny is a lot of people want to play the Titans as a sneaky good defense because
the Rams aren't good offensively.
The Rams are bad on the offensive line, and Tennessee really good at defense, like really good. I would tell you that Cowboys are interesting, but I don't mind the Rams. The Rams got a ton of practice.
No, I want the Rams.
We just don't know what that pressure was. Was that pressure because the Houston Texans are very bad on the offensive line and might be a far worse team than we think? or is the Rams offense with Jared Verse and all those boys very good?
No, we do know because last year we saw it. They were one of the highest pressure rate teams in the league, and they're
I
just
agree
getting
with
a
you.
year more of experience. Like
I
we
agree
know.
with you. But why are people pissing down the legs of the defense? And is it just people want to believe like, oh, the Rams are fun with Puka and Stafford, and like we want to think of them?
I don't hear anyone pissing down the legs of the Rams defense. The Rams defense is the reason why they made a playoff push last year.
This is why I do this show with you, Donnie, because we swim in different circles, man. I'm telling you, people are not.
Anyone who watched football last year knows that Rams defense almost won them against the Eagles. Like they were the only team that gave the Eagles a real chance.
Go off. You know, by the way, I'm going to kick Gov off the show more often. You came with real passion today, man. God believes in you absorb his energy. Like you start shouting at me. I need you to say peace out. I need you to get really red in the face. Like you're embodying the whole Gov experience. I like it. Okay, so anything else that you feel like maybe you didn't get across in this show?
What is AJ Brown's price? Just curious.
He's
after one target. What is it?
6,500. I want to say I played a lot of them. So I
how much more than Smith?
Yeah. He's always gotten that superstar treatment, and I get it. He's flirted with that. Like
we're the officially out, by the way. Officially ruled right now.
Officially, okay.
Breaking news.
I
wonder if that line goes up now at 1.5.
So this is an interesting question because I can't decide what to do with this game. I'm going to play a lot of this game, but I've been flirting with a Travis Kelce idea, and he's 5,000. And then Hollywood's 52. So you think Hollywood's just a better play?
I don't know because all of Kelce's plays were scripted. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Kelce was not getting open on the broken plays, and that's why Kelce is washed, I think.
But it's almost why we played Kincaid is because it's like you thought I was insulting him, but I'm like, dude, they scripted a play. That means they want him involved.
No, it's different to script the play in the first half and to have scripted plays in the second half. That's a big difference.
That's a good call because you're right. But
Kelce is going to be scripted in all the time, whereas I think the difference between Kelce now and 3 years ago was Kelce was every time Mahomes was scrambling around and it was always Kelce spam. Find where Kelce is and just hope. Now it's look around. Oh, I'm throwing to Tyquan Thornton in week 2 for some reason. And I'm going to miss this pass now because I'm throwing to Tyquan Thornton.
But you think that Hollywood has a better potential than Kelce? You kind of stuttered.
I think he's on the broken plays, which is going to happen a lot. Yes.
Okay. So I mean, should we actually not that we would do it? We're kind of late in the show, but would you consider taking Hollywood out and putting Kelce in, or
there's lineups I would do that. If I made 5 lineups this week and I had 4 where 4 Hollywood, I would definitely have a Kelce. I probably would have 2 Kelce, 3 Hollywood. It's that close.
Yeah. So my cheap guy. Am I crazy for playing Illumino? I really want people's opinions. Even if you think I'm stupid, hell, even if you're trolling me and you want to get clout, I'll give it to you this week. I'll come. I like Illumino, man.
I don't think it's crazy. I know we got 7 targets, but do they want to pass that much? I don't think so. I don't think they're that much of a passing offense. They were playing the best defense in the league, and they were kind of forced to pass.
Yeah.
Another issue, there's a lot of issues with that Titans offense. And going up against what was last year the best defense in the league, the defensive player of the year in Pat Surtain, you don't really know what the Tennessee offense is till we see them play a realistic defense. I'm sorry. The Broncos defense to me has just been, I know it's a different year, but they're generationally good. And now they have to go up against another really good defense who's in contention for top defense in the league. I don't think we'll see what Tennessee is until week 4.
Everyone thinks the Tennessee team is really conservative, and maybe that's the case. But I don't see why. They got fun options, Donnie. Tony Pollard is a lot better of a play this week than a lot of people are giving him credit for. People have been writing that guy off, and I played him last week. I think I'll play him again. The problem is I like a lot of those options. We mentioned Ridley being too cheap. Okay, so a lot. I really do think though like week 2, week 3 are really interesting. So I'll get Gov's opinion next week. Is there anyone that's like underpriced that you feel like if you don't play him this week, you're going to miss out? Because we know DraftKings, once they price someone up, they rarely drop them. Is there any like shout out guys that you feel like, guys, you got to play him this week?
I don't have any guys I feel like I have to play this week, but I will say I think the prices that are interesting that obviously will be going up. Chase had a bad game. He's going to be going up. I think after the end of this week, he'll be up to 8,300, and I think CD is going to take over that 8,100 spot. They're going to make it harder as the year goes on us. I didn't talk about Tyreek Hill, which is a guy I'll be playing a little bit because he's playing a defense that gives up big plays.
Yeah. I think CD is my favorite wide receiver this week. We didn't talk about
CD is a guy I want to get in on. Is there any? I think we'll see more. Williams for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
He clearly was the best running back in that backfield.
We got to find out what he is though, because the Eagles lost their best run defense, so that was a basically saving grace for him. So I need to see like him against an actual program defense.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's a must play or anything, but I do think 5,800. I think he's going to be about a 6,400 back most of the year.
Yeah.
So it's just the little things.
So for me, it's the former Cowboy and Tony Pollard, and it's CeeDee Lamb. Those are the two guys I haven't really mentioned that I like a lot. For me, I
think we didn't get enough overreaction prices from the Cowboys. Like I would have overreacted on the Cowboys and spiked everyone's price, in my opinion. I think Pickens was the only guy who you don't overreact to because he looked kind of bad, in my opinion.
I agree with that. The only thing I didn't do in this lineup that I'm doing a lot in my personal lineups is CeeDee Lamb. But I will say if CD goes off, that's good for our profit margin. Everything goes into the bankroll management for the season, as you guys should be doing as well. Protect your bankroll. Take advantage of the first weeks. Donnie's been doing it with different sites as well, different promotion boosts. It's not just DFS. Anytime there's a good promotion, anytime there's a way to boost whatever you believe, that's what saved this week. You saw the Justin Fields lineup was the only one that cashed for us, but that helps our lineup this week. That keeps us alive. My sports bets did okay. The spreads did okay. We survived. With that being said, though, I'm going to get us out of here. I know Donnie has a hard out in about a couple minutes here. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully you guys got something out of this show. And tell us some of the plays you're playing, some of the things we might have missed. But other than that, have a good rest of the night. And hopefully you win some money. Come back and tell us about it.
Ready for this, Logan? Peace out, everybody.
I was waiting for it.